So this is how morning looks from the front porch of the farmhouse. And yes, things are all cluttery, but it's because it's basically a construction site at this point. Lolly, what do you want?
Awa.
Awa? What's that mean? Huh? We're starting to get things in the ground, like our yuca that we have planted down there. And we have two kinds of yuca. One is the senior... Gosh, they go so fast I can't even... we have senorita and marijuana yuca, and I also have some camote planted down there on the little hills with it. And I also planted okra the other day, so we'll see how that does. Okra is going to grow, mature, and produce before the yuca gets tall enough to shade it out. So we'll see how that does. Here is something new since the last time I did a video, along with the new harvest of bananas that Michelle chopped down yesterday. We're waiting on them to ripen. Yum. But we noticed that the wild culantro was growing pretty heavily around the base of this tree in a bigger concentration, and it looked like it was actually doing better here. So we said, hey, why don't we just turn this into a bed? We can put other things in it as well, but we'll just have a little nursery for culantro, which is the Mexican coriander. It's like cilantro. Leo over there digging a hole. I'm sorry, but he's just too cute. I love that little dog. Digging to China there, Leo? Lolly's up on the bus fussing. You may be able to hear her in the background. I don't know what she's upset about, but it's definitely something. But anyway, we are making a little flower bed here. That's a tabacone. I went ahead and put my big tabacone in the ground. It should get really big. And we put the culantro here. We'll see how it does. I moved a lot of these, and I mean, it didn't even look like they've been moved. They're just loving it right here. Arrowhead, oh my God, philodendron. I never can remember that word. Arrowhead philodendron. And then some kind of plant with a purple flower in that coconut shell. I don't know what you call that. I went ahead and put my peacock plant straight in the dirt. I took it out of a little pot, and it's doing well. And now there is something. It's a bromeliad. I don't know if it's going to live or not. I saw it on the side of the road. Someone had chopped it out of a tree, and it's tiger striped or got some kind of mottling on the leaves. I don't have any of that here, so of course I grabbed it, and I've been babying it right there, hoping that it'll take root and live. That sure is pretty. I hope it survives. I put my zinnias in the ground finally. I took the bottom and most of the sides off of those cups so that they would have contact with the native soil, and they seem to really like it there. There's my pink wandering Jew that's doing really well. You can really see the pink in the leaves too. It's got a different color. This is the other kind, the standard kind. I hope that comes through, the difference in the way it looks. But that and the purslane is doing really well. It was just a teeny little thing with like one little root on it, and it's growing. No surprise, that stuff's pretty tough. But the caladiums, elephant ears, polka dotted, I don't know what they are, but it's time for them to kind of die back. And so they're doing what they do. I had to come get Lolly because she was making so much of a fuss on the roof of the bus and wouldn't fly into a tree, just sat there and fussed. So you're going to hear her muttering in the background. These are some of our potted plants, our palms and things that we brought, mango trees, to set out soon. I don't know what the proper name for that is. I call it the Jurassic lily because when it's big, it looks like something that you would see in Jurassic Park. Lolly says, yeah. And some curcumin that's getting ready to go into the ground soon. And these cabbage palms, these pink ones, red ones, they did take root. I mean, she just chopped them off with a machete and they rooted. So I've got them in the water. And a hydrangea that I just randomly found growing on the land here. Hydrangeas tend to bloom their color according to the type of soil they're in, so we'll see what happens. Once upon a time, I had such a fit for a fern tree. I wanted a fern tree so badly. And now we're just covered up with them. We have fern trees everywhere. I'm going to let them grow. I'm not going to chop them down. I had such a fit for some. The universe heard me. God gave me fern trees out the ears. I'm not sure what that vine is that climbs up that tree there. It looks a lot like purslane, but I wouldn't dare eat it. I'm not going to try it, but that's an interesting little vine. Just kind of grow and volunteer on this tree. This is the little low spot where we hope to build us a plunge pool someday with, nice finished cement walls and maybe some tile, steps down to it with a constant flow of fresh water. This runs across the road, underneath the road in a big culvert, but the spring head for this particular flow is just across the road, so we know the source where that comes from. It's going to be a very nice, clean, refreshing dip in the plunge pool someday. Little Leo in his nest he dug out. He's so cute. This is a big pile of black river sand that was here when we bought the property. And dogs. You can tell they bought it because it was in bags. I'm sure it's volcanic because it's black and it's probably from a local river, and it's got like lava rocks with all the air bubbles in them. We're moving it little by little, but we're using it in the raised beds and things that we're building. And eventually we'll clean this pile up and park the bus here. Here's our foster dog. He's for adoption if anybody wants a good dog. The rescue sent him to us to foster so he could be on the farm and have the farm experience. But his name is Jacob. He's a good boy. But we're also using the pile of river sand to temporarily house the Tiskiske and the Malanga and the Nampi and the things that we got from Miss Adalia that I don't have a permanent home for. So it's serving a purpose, but eventually this pile is going to move and we're going to have it gravelled and we're going to park the bus here because we've been getting the bus stuck. We actually got the bus stuck between Christmas and New Year's and had to have some help getting it out. The gravel there just got completely chewed up. And we've just got to put a new gravel base down. We're not stuck now. We're okay, but we're parking further forward than we like. We eventually want to pull all the way back here, but we've got to have a gravel base before we do. Yesterday, I made a post on my personal Facebook page about a raised garden bed that I'm building on the side of a hill. And I'm using madera negra sticks and logs to sort of weave a temporary restraining wall there. These madera negra trees are native to Central America and probably South America. Madera negra translates to black wood. These are what the living fences here are made out of, mostly. I mean, you see some with Dracaena and some other types of tree, but with this particular type of tree, what the Ticos do is they just cut off a branch or they cut a small one and stick it in the ground. They just stick it in the ground where they'd like a fence post to be. Within a few months to a year, the thing is rooted and has leaves on it and becomes a living fence post. And they nail barbed wire or, whatever kind of wire they're using. They nail it to the tree trunk and voila, there you have it. So we have a whole row of these on our property. It's right at the road. This is an old living fence. It's been here for many, many years. These are established trees, but they were once just sticks that somebody stuck in the ground. I used this black wood, this madera negra, to weave a very crude retaining wall here that I'm going to fill with rocks and dirt and then put some good nutrient-rich soil on top of that. We're going to pack it full of banana trees that we take down. What I didn't know before I came here was that banana trees basically bear once and then they don't bear again. So you get the fruit off of them and then you drop the tree. So we have a lot of tall trees here that need to be dropped because they're starting to fall onto other trees. They're not hardwood, they're very soft, mushy wood. But it will be really good to build up a nutrient-rich soil base inside this retaining wall, give it a little bit more support and nutrient for the plant. This is along the lines of a hugelkultur. Now, Michelle and I had a big debate yesterday because I kept saying hugelkultur, and he was like, this is not a hugelkultur. He is correct. It is not a hugelkultur. It is a retaining wall made out of madera negra sticks that forms a terrace upon which I am going to plant things. That's what we've done since the last time I posted. Little by little, we're going to get the place into a livable shape, and it will stop looking like a construction site, more like a home site. But time, it just takes time. And I don't want to wait until it's done to share our progress. So we'll just show as we go, and you'll see the improvements unfold right on your screen. I hope everybody had a good holiday season. I hope the new year treats you well, and we'll see you in a week or so with another video. What are you doing? There's nothing in the cook pots today. Aw?